We are back on the Woman Show 2 Experience Show with our first guest. She is a contributor to Path to Greatness. I haven't seen her in a long time. She is the founder and director of Project S.A.V.E. We get into more that what is that entail, what does it do, and things like that. So let's welcome Miss Arlana Brown. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you.
Like I said before, it's been a long time.
Yes.
Before COVID, she was very involved in Path to Greatness. Then she started her own organization. So we're about to get into that. What was the reason and rationale for that? But I want to ask you, how has been your New Year been so far?
Well, I think the New Year is always kind of like the time to get all the kinks out. So I'll say it's been a time to get the kinks out. And what you want to take into the New Year and what you're not going to take into the New Year. So it's been okay.
Good. That's good. We're at the 13th day already. So
yeah.
So time is running smooth. All right, so let's get right into it. Who was Arlana Brown growing up?
That's a good question. Who was Arlana Brown growing up? Arlana was a very studious person. So I was into my books. My grandmother was a very educational focused person who told me, once anything you can do with the education.
Right. So
she encouraged me to stay in my book. So, I did extracurricular activities that had something to do with a lot of learning. So STEM programs. I wanted to be a nurse. So a lot of nursing programs. I just tried to be a quote unquote good girl.
Okay.
Good girl. Whatever that entails or whatever that means. Trying to do the right thing.
Okay, so I sense that you kind of want to rebel against that as you got older. Is that true?
It wasn't more so rebellion,
but trying to find your own lane.
Exactly.
Okay.
Trying to find my own lane, because as I got older, I realized that this perception of who I was supposed to be just wasn't who I was. Right. And I had to learn another path. I had to do other things to make it in life. So it was really about getting outside of everyone else's perception of me and getting into who Arlana knew that I could be and who I knew I could be.
Right. And I think what you just said was so important. We have to figure out who we are as individuals.
Right.
And not be consumed of what we try to be for people.
Exactly.
So in terms of doing the work that you are doing and doing the work that you were called to do. So I won't get right into this now. I was reading information and trying to see how did you get into this space. Mm-hmm. So what were some moments that kind of led you to start Project S.A.V.E.? What were some things in your mind that say that, hey, look, based on this moment, I had to start something to help people? What were some of those moments you had growing up?
So, again, I wanted to be a nurse. Right. I wanted to be, my end goal was to be a nurse practitioner, especially in pediatrics. So everything that I did concerning college was around that.
Got you.
And going through school, you start learning, you start seeing a lot of different things that you weren't exposed to. I went to S.A.V.E., a very close-knit school. Wow. 500 kids in the whole entire school. Yeah. So once I get to Temple, it's 500 kids in one class. And it was a completely different ball game. I was sheltered. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was sheltered in an environment, a controlled environment. Mm-hmm. So when I got out into the world and I started seeing things, I started hearing things, and I was really like, me being a nurse would have been perfect. I love to help people. I didn't like to see people sick. But I also knew that I had a real desire to help more people outside of a nurse, outside of just seeing them in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up transferring to Westchester in 2016.
Okay.
And I remember being on campus, and we got an email. And the email detailed someone being sexually assaulted on campus or off campus. And the language around it necessarily didn't blame her, but the language around it kind of pointed blame of drinking as being the cause of it.
Okay.
And so I remember, like summertime, it was still hot outside, and I had a dream about this organization that people came to, that they were able to heal in a therapeutic way. You had counselors, you had DV counselors, you had sexual violence counselors, you had activities outside of therapy, because we know that talk therapy doesn't work for everyone. So different options, different choices for people to choose whatever they needed to choose for their healing journey. This was a dream. And the next day I woke up and the dream was so detailed down to the building that I had, that I told a friend at the time, and I'm like explaining to them, I'm really excited, and they're like, you should do it. Like, you should do it. And I was like, no, I don't know anything about nonprofit work. I know nothing about how to do a board, how to get programmed, like nothing. And so I started researching. I remember one night I stayed up all night and wrote my articles of incorporation and bylaws, because I was determined to be able to provide this service for people. And then after doing research in the city and finding there was only one sexual violence center for the whole city, and that was Women Organized Against Rape.
Right, yeah.
And then it was a separate place for DV. I thought, well, if these things happen so frequently, the statistics say that, 1 in 4, 1 in 5, this is happening to, why is only one service? So I said, well, let me be the next person to help out. And so that's kind of how Project S.A.V.E. came to be. I didn't want people to have to worry about insurance. I didn't want people to have to worry about affording therapy. But I also didn't want to get into making those barriers where people say, I don't want to go to a program and get help for with the traumas inside of me. So that's where it came from. And we've been blessed and able to touch people. And for people to believe in our mission, I think that's something that I've taken away. And I'm truly thankful for all the people that have come, volunteered, helped out, but really believed in the mission that we're around to help people. We're around to help people get out of that traumatic situation. And without stepping outside of nursing, I know for a fact I wouldn't have been able to do it. Because nursing was so focused on, this is the classes, especially at Temple, my first year I was in clinicals, which is unheard for a nursing person.
Freshman, yeah.
Yeah, so, so I was completely involved in the educational part of my undergrad, and I had dreams on the side. And I never thought that I would be in charge of an organization, but here I am. We started in 2016,
So what type of work does Project S.A.V.E. do?
So we provide free therapeutic services to survivors of sexual and domestic violence. And in 2021, we added mental health initiatives also. So focusing on the mental health piece of everything. We do acro yoga. We've had yoga classes. We've had defense classes.
Yeah, yoga?
Yeah, we had yoga.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's different types of yoga, different types of, we had art therapy classes in the past, dance therapy. So really trying to make sure that people have a choice in their healing. It's not me telling you how to heal. It's not a therapist telling you how to heal, but you making that choice of how you want to see your journey.
So like I said, so yoga, I know someone that does yoga in art therapy. So I don't know, you probably heard, I don't know, someone named Dennis Davis.
No, not
he's a male, he does yoga. So I think that would be a great partner we could work with yoga. And I know someone does art therapy, that she went to schools and did art therapy with students. So I'll connect you with those two. Okay. Also, does Project S.A.V.E. go to schools? I know it's a pandemic going on. Have y'all been to schools and talk about Project S.A.V.E.? And is there internship opportunities for high school students to do the work, learn about the work you're doing, and just see what it's like? Is that or? So
we have had over the couple years, we've had interns from college levels, not really high schools. We've offered it to high schools, but I think the topic focus is maybe a little too heavy, and we want to prepare the students to make sure that what they're walking into, they're really prepared for it. But we've also set up people for CPS internships, so certified peer specialists, where people are trained to then they're able to go help. And that's kind of the model that we like of saying, okay, you've gone through this situation, you're the best expert at your life. How can you help someone else? And being that type of collaborative partnership. We've also for 2 years, we did yoga at a North Philly school. So providing after school yoga to the kids, which was really helpful. They had a little different leadership, so we didn't do it the last couple years. But I do think that was a really good partnership, not only for Project S.A.V.E., but for the kids. I think when people hear us and we're working with sexual violence and domestic violence, They think that every person that comes through our door has been a victim or has had that, and it's not true. Some people are just really interested in the work, and some people, have other traumas that they're trying to work through. And yoga, acro yoga, music therapy, art therapy are all good ways to kind of work through those issues.
So, what are a couple of goals for Project S.A.V.E. this year that you want to accomplish?
I wanted really something that I really, really, really loved before COVID was really going out into communities and having like those community activities. We had a really great partnership with Studio 34 where we had a lot of our classes. I really want to, and it doesn't have to be Studio 34, but another partnership where we're able to kind of be present in that center. That's one goal. Another goal is to really get more volunteers, get more people involved with Project S.A.V.E. Again, it's not, you don't have to be a survivor or you don't have to even know anyone. But I think that the work that Project S.A.V.E. does is really important for our communities to heal. It's a lot of trauma in our communities. And if we don't talk about these things, then we never know how the real solution to fix it. And something that we did when we first started was movie nights, which we always had a theme. So it was more of a sense of community that I really am missing for Project S.A.V.E. And I think that that's what we need to focus on getting back.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Hopefully I can have you go back to the schools with the kids, because I think since our last interaction, I think at the time we spoke, we started doing mental health 101 classes with the kids.
Right.
So now we're still doing it, but now we added a trauma resilience part to it.
Okay.
So I have someone on my team does, she does trauma resilience with the kids in the summertime because she teaches over the year. So we are about to start doing trauma resilience lessons with the kids.
Yeah.
Showing them, we're not experts, but showing them how to deal with it. You know what I mean? How to address it while it's fresh in their mind, because we felt like the summertime was great, but I wish we had for our school year kids to learn how to do it, know how to address it, know how to take stuff necessary to address their trauma while they're young, instead of that sit in their brain as they develop, as they get older. It's right there so they can grow, you know. So that's what we follow with mental health as well. We definitely trying to make sure our kids' mindsets are the right frame of mind. Sometimes you do have bad moments, you do have those moments. You feel low, you make some, but in the day, it's about how you respond to that low moment, how you grow and move forward with that moment. So, did you become a mom too? A mom?
Yes.
Yeah, within that time, yes.
So after undergrad, I graduated. I started working for the state in Chester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so then I found out that I was having a little one, and I was in the middle of going to get a master's to grad school, but the program required that I didn't work. And so at that time, I was like, well, I'm supposed to be pregnant and not have a job. So it was a difficult moment. And then I got to go to that program, and it was a social work program. I thought that I wanted to go into social work. And I started telling people about Project S.A.V.E. that were in my program. And they were like, you did all that without this degree. Like, you don't need this degree to continue doing the work that you're doing. And I ended up running into an issue with financial aid. The school promised that I had a discount or something, and I didn't get it. So I still owed them like $6,000, and they just had me quit my job. So no money, no way to finish school without paying this bill.
Right.
So I decided, I was one day driving for Lyft, and this woman got in the car. She heard of my high school. We were just having a casual conversation, and she said, I think that you would be good for like a nonprofit management. And she's like, I think you should look into it. And I went home, looked into it. A couple months later, I enrolled in like a Master of Science for Nonprofit Management.
Okay.
And so I graduated over COVID with my master's, and it's in nonprofit management. So it gave me more background, more technical background in the nonprofit sector. And so it helped, it helped make Project S.A.V.E. what it is today.
Yes.
And if COVID didn't happen, if we didn't have these little hiccups, I can't even imagine kind of the things that would
you wouldn't be where you are because it wasn't for COVID. You a lot of things like when that happened or couldn't happen, COVID wasn't there, because COVID really wasn't time to examine yourselves and find out what you was doing. Right. What am I supposed to be doing this, or Should I go a different route, or should I elevate what I was doing to the direction, or open new doors or new things that I may not been good at,
Right.
what I was good at, or I can do. So, I think sometimes it's time to reflect and grow and make sure that you're on the right page and the right frame of mind. So my I might ask you this. I think I'm going to ask this about let's get in mind. What do you do with self-care?
That's a really good question, because I think getting in this work, I realized that if you don't have a boundary, the other person's not going to have a boundary.
Right.
And being in a position to help people all the time, you sometimes, I'm not the best person to say, hey, don't call me at 11 o'clock if you really need me. I may answer that call at 11 o'clock. So working in this space, working with Project S.A.V.E., I think my self-care has been to say the word no, and that's it. Period. It's no explanation. It's no, I need to find a reason as to why I need to help you. I need to help myself first.
That's right. Take care of yourself.
And if I can't take care of myself, I can't take care of anything after that. And Project S.A.V.E. has been that constant reminder because of the type of work that we're in. People don't get assaulted between certain times. That happens all night.
All night, all day. Yeah.
So if you're not going to have that type of frame of mind, like, okay, this is the time that I'm going to set for Project S.A.V.E., and this is the time I'm going to set for that decompress, then you'll be available all night. And when I first started Project S.A.V.E., I was. And I remember a lot of the people that would volunteer, like, Arlana, like, you can't save everybody.
Right.
And that hurt. Because I wanted to save everybody, but you couldn't. You couldn't.
But then you gotta take care of yourself.
Gotta take care of yourself, and you gotta say no. And sometimes people are not going to like the word no, but it still doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be said.
And then at the end of the day, people gonna find a great appreciation for you saying no, even though at that moment they didn't understand.
Right.
But down the line, they're gonna have great appreciation. You said no, you said bounce for yourself.
Yes.
They'll have a greater. Found more respect for you, so I feel that's so important. So, what advice would you say to younger Arlana Brown?
Well, I always had the confidence. Some people might say I was too cocky. I always had the confidence to believe in myself that I could do anything that I put my mind to. So I would say to the younger self, just stop playing with myself. Stop doubting the things that I know for a fact I can do. I knew I was a good leader. Never thought I'd be in nonprofit leading, but nonetheless, I'm still here. And I had that knowledge, I had that courage to be able to step out on faith and do what God called me to do. Again, completely different. Nursing, it's completely different. Your mindset is different when you're nursing. You're thinking about the next step of saving somebody, of helping someone in that nursing, in that medical field. Nonprofit, I've been able to work with a lot of different focused nonprofits, youth. Some people have had educational nonprofits. Some people have helped health nonprofits. And if I didn't have the experience of working with all types of different people, I wouldn't have been able to be in these spaces.
All right. Amen. Where people can find more information about you and Project S.A.V.E.?
Our website is www.projectsavephilly.com. Of course, we're big on social media. Instagram is Project S.A.V.E. Philly. Twitter @PSavePhilly. Project S.A.V.E. Philly. It'll have all of our information, all of our classes. We're looking to really get back into classes this year. A lot of chances for outreach. I think one thing about the work that we do is getting the word out there and having this conversation, and it's not a taboo.
It's not a taboo. Yeah.
So it happens, and we, the community, have to talk about it. We have the solutions.
All right, amen. All right, so Arlana Brown, it was good to reconnect with you.
Yes.
Support Project S.A.V.E., what she's doing for the community. We thank you for this. Thank you for just being here today. Thank you for those who are watching, planning to watch. I want anyone to enjoy their weekend, enjoy MLK Day. Go out and do some service if you're able to. Relax. Enjoy this nice weather for once. Sunny outside today. So enjoy yourself, and remember, you are great and continue to be great. It's also based on the free guest that today. The common thread was it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
So enjoy yourself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take time to rest, reset, and remember that you are great. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you.